To say that Sevilla have had a bit of a tumultuous season is probably an understatement of the highest order for undoubtedly one of the biggest clubs in Spanish football. Certainly, for a club of this stature, sitting 13th in La Liga, a really, really poor away record, and even some really embarrassing losses at home in La Liga as well. An old squad, average age of about, I think I saw something was 33, 34. For their standards, it's been a very poor season, and they flirted with relegation. 8 points clear at the moment, but you get the gist, right? This Sevilla team on paper looks a shadow of any of the other great Sevilla sides that we've probably seen in the past. For sure. But what they did last night to, in theory, on paper, a much stronger Manchester United side was unbelievable. And it just shows that these kind of teams with this, it shows that these teams that dominate certain competitions, like Real Madrid in the UEFA Champions League, it shows that kind of juju is a real thing. I mean, Sevilla still have Jesus Navas playing. They still got, a 31-year-old Marcus Acuna. Fernando's 35 years old. Lucas Ocampos is coming up on about 29 years old, and not such a great season. I'm a huge fan of the player, but you get the gist. Ivan Rakitic as well is climbing up there in age, but man, oh man, it just shows you that this Sevilla team announced last night to all of Europe and their competitors in the Europa League that you can't write them off whatsoever. You just can't. I think the only team that could possibly stand in their way of beating them to the Europa League titles probably Roma. Just because Mourinho attacks, honestly. I mean, my God, the performance that Sevilla put in last night, they just bullied. They bullied Manchester United. They didn't play the most beautiful football, but they went out there and just got the result, and they capitalized on each and every single one of Manchester United's calamitous mistakes from their players who lack quality and mentality in these key moments. And say what you want about both of these sides. Sevilla deserved to go through 100%. 100%. You don't just score 5 goals on accident. And it's because Sevilla, for what they lack in quality, they've got the mentality. They never give up. They didn't give up in that entire game or across the 2 legs. It was 2-0 at Old Trafford coming up towards like the 80th minute. They get 2 goals. You can say that they're fortunate, but guess what? Still scored them. There are 2 own goals, but you still have to put the pressure on. You have to get the ball upfield. It's not like it was a throw-in and Maguire just threw it and De Gea decided to score 2 own goals. No. Sevilla were putting on pressure, especially in that second half of the first leg. And then they carried that exact momentum back to Spain at the Sanchez Pizjuan Stadium. And my God, the atmosphere was unforgettable. The atmosphere was legendary. The atmosphere was straight up legendary. The beautiful tifo, the fans all in white, the noise that was generated. I mean, my God, they created an atmosphere for the players, and they gave everything. And guess what? Sevilla, those players, every single one of them, reflected that back to the fans. And tactically, they just beat and bruised Man United to a point. It was incredible performance in terms of, it reminds me of like Morocco during the World Cup. Like, okay, the football wasn't beautiful per se, but it was hardworking, industrious, and they got results at the end of the day. Obviously, Morocco didn't win the World Cup, but you get my gist. And a certain Moroccan also turned up on the night for Sevilla as well. Youssef El Nesri, a 25-year-old striker, bit of an okay season. He's got a few goals in La Liga, nothing too special. But for that first goal, team press. They all know Maguire's shit. They pressed him into a mistake. They knew David De Gea is, pretty woeful at distribution. They saw it. They pounced. Bam, 1-0 in the first 10 minutes in that atmosphere. No. There was no chance that Manchester United were getting back in that game. I knew it. As soon as that happened, it's like it just seemed obvious to me. It seemed it literally a fatality, or sorry, a finality. That's not even a word. Whatever. It was unbelievable. I thought, Rakitic was very good performance. I thought El Nesri, again, he took both of his chances. Luik Bade scored the other goal as well. I thought he had a really, really good match. And ever since he's came on loan from Nottingham Forest, Luik Bade has looked a strong center back. And it seems like that they've picked up enough results to steer clear of any relegation worries. So Sevilla can go all out for this Europa League title. And the other three teams in there should be very, very scared. Again, the only team I see posing a real threat is Roma. If it's a Roma-Sevilla final, that's a tricky one, not going to lie, because Jose Mourinho, as much as I hate Roma, they've done the business. They've done the business so far. Conference League title last year, now they're carrying it into this year. They're third in Serie A. But Sevilla's next opponent is Juventus. Again, another team that has much stronger players on paper. I'll give you that. And they've gotten results against a good cup side in Sporting Club de Portugal. They've also beat FC Nantes and Freiburg in the other round. And Sevilla had to, their path was they got past Fenerbahce from Turkey and PSV Eindhoven, who, again, PSV probably – they've had a much better season than Sevilla domestically, obviously. But, again, the other thing, they didn't kill them off. And Manchester United, the same thing happened. As soon – it's like the boogeyman. It's like the Slender Man. It's like whatever fictional villain that you need to – Jason Friday the 13th, right? If you don't kill them off, they're not dead. They're not dead until they're dead. And even if you think that they're dead, they can come up and rise out of nowhere and kick your ass because they just feel like it. And Sevilla they just trounced them. They absolutely trounced them. Yeah, I was very, very impressed. And it's going to be really, really interesting to see how Sevilla can, if this form can get better results in La Liga as well, if they can bounce back and get, maybe get a string a few wins in La Liga to get a Conference League place possibly next year. You never know. Things are pretty tight in La Liga right now, across the board. With the exception of Elche and Barcelona, completely opposite ends, 20th and in first place. But no, this Sevilla team, yeah, it's not great, but what they have is they just don't give up. They don't know how to give up because this club doesn't know how to give up when it comes to the Europa League. And that's a danger. That's a danger in and of itself because a team, a club that just never gives up and that has some moments of quality and can capitalize on your errors, it's a very, very tricky place to be. And Sevilla can also get results away from home in Europe as well. So it's looking scary for those teams in the Europa League, honestly. You don't want to play Sevilla because you know that these guys, they know what it takes to win. I mean, Gudel, again, another player that's won a Europa League with them. A lot of those, if I look at the team right now, Bono, Canadian-Moroccan goalkeeper, he's won the Europa League with them. Youssef El Nesri as well. Ocampos has the Europa League title. Gudel, Fernando, Jesus Navas, Acuna, I believe, also have Europa League titles. I mean, they've got players that know exactly what it takes to win it, and they're at the perfect club for doing so. And it seems like Sevilla are picking up a little bit of form at the right time of the season to get this over the line. So I don't know, man. For me, that would be my Europa League one. And my final part of this, right? Sevilla, I beg you with the bottom of my heart. Please. Or Bayer Leverkusen. I don't give a shit. I do not want Juventus or Roma winning this. I fucking hate both of them. Please, Sevilla, just take care of business. Or Leverkusen. I would put money more so on Sevilla doing this just because Leverkusen have a younger team and whatnot. Less of a pedigree of, not it's not on the level of Sevilla. Please, just I beg of you. I can't have Roma doing a back-to-back European Cup wins in 2 different competitions after getting kicked out with my guys Lazio to AZ Alkmaar. I mean, it's I can't do this. Mourinho's has completely revived them. Please just get this shit over the line. I can't do it no more. I really can't. Right? The Derby della Capitale wins over them are great and all that, but they can't pick up any more fucking silverware. And Juventus, they're done with winning. The fucking corrupt little fuckers. I can't do it. Just take care of business, Sevilla. I'm pretty confident that you will. Your prestige and your heritage alone is better than Juve's in this competition. Juve in Europe haven't been very impressive. I don't think they have any trophies since 95, 96, around then when they won Champions League, European Cup, whatever. Please just go out there and kick their ass. This is your fucking competition. Just please, I beg of you, Rakitic. I beg of you, El-Nesri, Acuna, Montiel, Luis Bade, Bono. Just turn up. You have the experience of doing so. Please just do it. Just do exactly what you did against Manchester United. In the home tie against Juve, make those players scared that they're there. Just put on the show, the atmosphere. You've got a game plan again that doesn't rely on the quality. It just needs to be a moment or two of capitalizing on errors. Szczęsny makes errors for Juve. Capitalize on it. Pounce. Please, I beg of you. I know you can do it because I've seen you win 3 or 4 Europa League titles since I've been watching football. You've got this. Just please. I can't do this. With Juve and Roma. I can't. So, look. You have to take Sevilla seriously. You have to. Because this is their competition. And they're going to kick your ass. Anyways, people, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm out.